Good morning, everyone. Glad to see you all here today. Just before we start, please silence your cell phones, put them on mute or something. And before we call to order, for those of you who can rise, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'd like to call to order now. And Bob, would you please do roll call for us?
Yes, President George Kemp.
Here.
Here.
Vice President Angela Quick.
Here.
Treasurer Wayne Schweitzer.
Here.
Members at large, Beverly Adair. Al Niemeyer.
Here.
And a medical excuse, Karen Dorr.
George.
I'm Bob Leonard, the secretary.
Your microphone is.
No. Okay. Everybody's here except Karen, and she has a microphone.
Bob, would you give us the
The minutes of the February town hall meeting have been published and sent out, and so I'll entertain a motion for their approval.
I so move.
Second? Are there any people that object to the motion?
They can.
We'd like to get into some of the reports now, officers' reports. So Wayne, would you give us treasurer's report? Make sure that's on.
Okay, this is the treasurer's report for the month of February. As of February 1st, we had a balance of $16,903.64. There were no expenses during the month, and we had donations totaling $1,210, of which $1,175 were donations to the scholarship fund. The other $35 were for the happy hour. That left us with a total of $18,113.64 for the end of February. Are there any questions? Okay, I'm going to change now and take off my green eye shade and put on my Special Events Committee hat. I'm filling in for Karen. One of the big issues for the residents here has been the exercise program, and it's being worked on by Vanessa. I talked to her yesterday, and she has not completed the work, but they're working with a company that is being used by Watermark at other facilities, and it's going to include both physical exercises as well as mental exercises they call mindfulness. I probably could use that. Okay, in 2 days, March 17th, there's going to be a new resident welcome event. We've been almost 2 years without one. What we'll be recognizing are the 2022 new residents, but we encourage everyone, including those who feel they're still new, to come out and meet the rest of the folks. Next week is the Oscar week, and Craig is going to be presenting a history of film on March 22nd. And then on the 27th, we're going to have a special reception and dinner called the Oscarladas. And it's going to be on the theme of the Oscars. And during the break of the projected real Oscars dinner, there will be Carls, which are the equivalent presented for associates and residents of the Carlotta. During that week, movies are going to be shown in the theater, which are Oscar winners. At the end of the month, we have a special program called the Pajama Game, which requires a sign up with Vanessa, and because of the number of people who are expected to go, the time today is the deadline. So you need to get up with Vanessa and bring money. There was a flyer put out, which everyone should have, with giving you the price. I think it's $25.
That's Sun City.
Yeah, and it's going to be traveling to Sun City where they present it. Okay, and at the last Saturday, March 26th, is the first event of the Kentucky Derby series. This will be the Louisiana Derby, and we have a pre-watch party in the auditorium from 3 to 4 p.m. And you'll get a notice as to the other pre-Derby races as they come due. Because of the heavy response to the dining out, Vanessa is now going to schedule 2 outings for the restaurants so that people who are on the wait list have a chance to get to go out. And those are the highlights for the events. And are there any questions? Okay.
I just wonder, are you contacting the new people? Is somebody actually inviting them to the meet and greet?
Yes. Vanessa, the question is, are they being invited? And yes, Vanessa has invited the members who have arrived in 2022.
What time is it?
It's 3 o'clock in the lobby.
In the
In here? The auditorium?
It will be 3 o'clock here in the auditorium.
I'm sorry. Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Angela, could you please give us the building and grounds?
The meeting for the Building and Grounds Committee was held on March 8th, and among the items discussed, former concerns regarding the pool cleaning and the refreshing of indoor plants were addressed, and they appear to be improved. The exterior perimeter benches were approved, but at present they're deemed a low priority due to the installation funding costs. There's an ongoing problem of non-functioning exterior lights on the paths and in the courtyards, and those are the responsibility of our night security guards. And they are supposed to tag lights that are out so that they can be replaced during the daylight hours. That hasn't been done, but we're going to start to do that hopefully. The window washers are to be on site this week, and the regular schedule of twice-a-year washing should be resumed. There were several gardening issues that were reviewed, and they include, there will be a survey again of the trees and the general maintenance with Johan and others that can offer some suggestions. The weeds in the putting greens are still needing to be addressed. The battery-powered maintenance equipment is being worked on, and there's going to be an expected increase in our gardening costs. The foliage is going to be cut back from buildings because we have a rodent problem, and that's going to help and keep the rodents hopefully away from the buildings. And finally, Walter Braun, the chair, presented the updated committee bylaws, which coincide with the resident council bylaws. And they were approved, and they will begin to take effect in January 2023. Our next meeting is April 12th. Do you have any questions?
Thank you, Angela. Pat, please.
Good morning. We met on March 4th, and we had better?
Yes.
Okay. Met on March 4th. We had 5 members present. In addition, we had Angela Fitch, Betty, Jose, and Ron. We talked about the tablets, and I do understand that the tablets are there, and they will be working on them to educating training the servers to use them. And I talked to Nevaeh last night. She said, yes, they were there and they were working on that. The ballots to the residents would be given on the 11th to vote, and voting would take place on the 14th. We were going to try an open table for new members and residents who do not have anyone to sit with. So we are working on that. We will get together the latter part of this week and discuss that with Becky and Jose. But Jose said that you can't hear?
Move that up a little bit.
Can you hear now?
Yes.
Okay. Anyhow, the open table for new members and residents that don't have anyone to sit with. We are going to have one table at 5:30. Jose said that we could do that, and I'll meet with him in a couple of days and get all the details of how that's going to work. Members of the dining committee were given a revised copy of the bylaws. CC's is open now, and I understand you can go and take your dining dollars and use it there. There'll be no cash right now. I know last time you could use cash. Any guests can use credit cards, but they have to use them at the front desk coming in. Announcements from Ron, and there will be a cocktail talk in the lobby of the auditorium for Oscar Lotta night, and it sounds wonderful. There will be cocktails and then a nice dinner in the auditorium. Also, Passover is April 15th to the 23rd, and we will have a Seder dinner on April 16th. Next meeting will be April 1st at CC's. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Yes, please.
Can you hear me in the back?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Within a few days, the scholarship committee will be distributing posters and information to our associates, letting them know that their applications are available. We're hoping that a number of our staff members will take advantage of this wonderful offer to get funds to help them further their education and training while they're still working here at the Carlotta. And you remember last month that I mentioned that our committee also decided that we would continue with tradition and send out a donation request to the residents, and that also will be done very soon. You may like to know that, later on when we get to interviewing the applicants, the scholarship committee members are always just so very much in awe of our associates who kind of juggle work and school and family and are still managing to help all of us here at the Carlotta. So it's really a great program. Do you have any questions?
Thank you. We'll now go and do some of the old business. Excuse me. As most of you know, we had a election yesterday, resident election on the dress code. And Bob Winnery is going to give us the results of that. Bob?
Yes, it's my understanding that this is the first ballot ever by a resident council. And I want you to know that a great deal of man and women hours went into the preparation of this, hoping to make it absolutely correct. The third question on the ballot was no opinion or doesn't go to the dining room, and the votes there were 5. The second question was changing the dress code, requiring men to wear pants. And the vote on that was 46. The first question was no change in the dress code. The number of votes was 57.
Wait for the mic and you can ask it.
This is Bill Huron, if the rest of you don't know. I have some questions in the way the ballot was taken. First of all, question is, putting a third box in, that isn't a normal thing. It's yes or no. I don't understand the rationale behind the third box. I've never seen such a thing before, on a yes or no. And putting out literature, there has been a dress code in writing. It goes back a number of years, but there has been one in writing. So don't say there's never been one. There has been. Number 3, your ballot box at the front desk on Saturday, and everybody came there, but you were counting the ballots because I gave you mine. And you were counting them at that time. I don't know what else to say, except I hate to imply something, but that's my opinion, period.
The major concern of the council on this ballot was to make sure that the validity of the vote, the validity of the ballot box was maintained. I spent 6 hours guarding the box. Angela spent 2 additional hours when I had to go to a doctor's appointment. And we can attest that nothing happened in that ballot box as far as more than 1 ballot or 2 ballots, if it was a husband and spouse, were put into that ballot box. There was one addition, which was Jeannie Bunch, who not only brought her husband's ballot, but she also brought Marlene Witt's ballot with her.
No, Elway.
Allowayne Musser. And what we could not guard was that some people did bring the ballots down on Saturday and on Sunday and on Monday morning before 10 a.m. Those ballots were all put into the ballot box. They were counted. We'll make adjustments for any future ballots concerning that particular situation. but all ballots that were presented either on Monday or during the weekend at the front desk, every ballot was counted. Any other questions?
Yeah, just to
Hold on,
bring
hold
up-
on.
Pardon me, here. I gave my ballot out there.
No, you put your ballot into the box.
I
You didn't
did.
give it to me.
I didn't. I left it there, but you were working in the box there, and I left it to you. Then you picked it up and put it in.
No, you put it into the box.
Anyway, and the other thing that I didn't bring up was, why were the married couples only, or couples, only given one vote?
Now listen, for the last time, Bill,
Yeah.
every single resident got a ballot, period.
You
Whether they exercised their desire to vote was up to them.
I was,
But every single resident got a ballot. Now, do you hear me?
yes.
Oh,
but
great.
My answer is, you answered the question, every single person got a vote, but the couples only had one ballot.
No, they didn't.
All right. My inputs were mistaken then, okay.
Now, are there any additional questions about the ballots or the vote? I realize this is a very toxic subject, and there are various opinions. The thing that we wanted to accomplish, we did. The residents who wanted to vote got the opportunity to vote. If they chose what their ballot selection, that was their business. If their desire was not to vote, that was their business. But we again gave the residents the opportunity to vote their feelings. And that's we accomplished. And hopefully, more written ballots in the future will be used, and we just wanted to make sure that the validity of the vote, the validity of the ballot would be watched. We invited Marie Timmick as one of the committee members to observe the counting of the ballots. I also personally saw that that was going to happen. So we did everything humanly possible to make this as fair as possible. And right now, there will be no changes in the suggested dress code that we have. Let's talk about some new business now. We have all heard that now CC's has opened. Thanks to Ron and his persistence, it has been accomplished. Not the way we maybe would like to see it, but it's coming just the way it used to be. We have another degree of normalcy is back, a new norm to be sure, but that's new residents being introduced to their fellow Carlotta residents. That's going to be this Thursday. The Carlotta Derby Party is going to be brought back after a 2-year hiatus as far as having people attend it. An interesting fact here is that since we had the last in-person party, there are 71 new residents that have moved in since that period. That's almost half of the population of the Carlotta. So you can see how things have changed in just 2 years. One other thing that's going to happen with this meeting here is that the minutes of this meeting, the Secretary Bob Winnery will now email these minutes. No more putting copies of the minutes into your boxes. However, those who wish to have a printed copy can give Bob Winnery a phone call, and he will see to it that a hard copy or printed copy is put into your in-house mailbox. Are there any other questions that you'd like to ask us about any subject?
The minutes will still be posted on the bulletin boards?
The minutes will still be posted on the 2 bulletin boards here in the town center and at CC's. Yes, they will be. Yes, Margot?
I would like to know what is planned
for the art corner around the second floor elevator here. We were tasked to clear up the place, but we don't know what's cooking. And that was a corner that was favored by a lot of people, because when the Jacaranda room is busy with games or lecture or whatever, card players, there's no other table surface to work on. And that was a favorite corner for any sort of goal that we had to accomplish. And if it was for the Carlotta purpose, like the Valentine card and so forth, we always use that corner.
I see that Ron is in the back of the room. Maybe Ron, you could answer that question for us? As far as the Jacaranda, not the Jacaranda room, but that small room off of the elevator on the second floor. This elevator here.
Another one?
The north side?
Dickinson? Right here.
The area she's talking about is the room that's behind the elevator on the second floor. You took the dining room elevator up to the second floor, there's a little alcove behind there. It's been used for a number of things over the years. It was a computer lab, it was a sitting room, it made a nice appearance, and then it became kind of a catch-all for items that were donated. And it's never really fully actualized what the thought was. The Jacaranda room is where the art supplies were moved to. It has storage cabinetry, it has different things to make it, more presentable and more accessible. I don't believe there's a great deal of time where the Jacaranda or the Dickinson Lounge, where's Alva? The Dickinson Lounge and the alcove are used at the same time. And so I think that's a non-issue. The room is going to be turned into kind of more of a quiet sort of game room, study, independent kind of things that you want. If an art class wants to go get things from the Dickinson Lounge, take them over there, do things, they're welcome to do that. But that room does not present well. If you go in there, it was a hodgepodge of different kinds of furniture, different styles, different cases, cabinets, all kinds of stuff. And it looked terrible. So that's why we cleared it out and we're moving it on.
Any other questions that you'd like to bring up and ask? Yes, Bill?
I'd like to make an announcement.
Okay.
George is talking about getting back to normal. Well, we're finally going to reopen the Cozy Corner Thrift Shop. Okay. It'll be starting on April 22nd, Friday after Easter. And then we'll be open every Friday after that from 10 till 3:30. We're going to initially start with the initial cruise that we had, but we're always looking for volunteers. So anybody that would like to volunteer to work in the thrift shop, please come and see me or any of the other members of the thrift shop that you may know of. Also, it's probably going to raise some questions on donations. Our thrift shop is full right now, and we really can't accept any donations for a few weeks till we start to clear out some of the clutter that we've accumulated over the last 2 years. So please hold off on your donations. We will start taking them. Probably won't be until after May 1st, and it definitely will not be clothing. We will no longer be accepting clothing or selling clothing in the thrift shop. It just got to be too much. We got overwhelmed, and we can't really move it. It's going to have to get donated eventually. But we are going to have a great big sale on clothing. So if you're interested, come and stuff a bag full of clothes for $1.
Even if they don't fit. Thank you, Bill. Again, it really, to me anyway, it feels good getting back to some type of normalcy, even though that new normalcy will be not what we once had, but we're going in the right direction, and I think everyone will agree to that. And the more that we can do, I think the more people will be happy for it. Next thing that's going to come out is this Friday, you're going to get your own invitation to the Carlotta Kentucky Derby Party. To give you a brief synopsis, we're hoping for 20 tables, four residents per table. That's only 80 people, but that hopefully keeps us within the boundaries of the number of people we can put into this room because of the COVID restrictions we are still under. I thank you all for attending. Do I have a motion to end the meeting? Beverly, you and second? Second by Angela. Thank you very much. Thank you for attending.